Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you some polite phrases and expressions that you should use in English. Americans are famous for being very polite and indirect, so it's important for you to know what sounds polite and what sounds too direct or even rude in English. Before we start, remember to sign up for our $1 listening practice seminars at polyglossa.com and download our free listening time podcast so you can practice your listening skills. Okay, so let's look at what to say and what not to say when speaking English. For example, if you want someone to wait for you while you do something quick, do not say, "Wait a minute." I've had many students say this to me over the years. This is grammatically correct, but it doesn't sound very polite. Instead, we might say, "Give me just 1 second." This might not sound more polite to you, but trust me, it sounds better. Also, notice my tone when I say it. Give me just 1 second. I put extra emphasis on the word one. This makes it sound even better. Alright, here's our next one. If you want to ask someone to do something for you, like for example, send you something, do not say, "Please send it to me." Many English learners think that putting the word please at the beginning of a command makes the sentence polite, but this isn't necessarily true. To be honest, most commands sound very direct or sometimes rude even if you say please. We don't like to give many commands in English. This is too direct. Instead, we request things by asking a question with the word could. So, instead of saying, "Please send it to me," you should say, "Could you send it to me?" You could also add the word please after the word you in these types of questions, but it's not necessary and many times it doesn't sound more polite. Instead, just make sure you say thank you after the person accepts your request. Here's another similar example. Instead of saying, "Please give me that," it sounds much better to say, "Could you give me that?" Okay, next example. If you don't hear what someone says or you don't understand them, don't say what. Of course, we say this to people that we're close to and there's no problem with saying it in those situations. But if you're not friends with the person, it can sound rude. Instead, you could say, "Pardon?" or "Sorry?" I prefer the second of these two options, but it's important to say it with the right tone. You don't just say, "Sorry." You say it like this, "Sorry?" It should sound like a question. Try to develop this habit, and it will definitely sound much more polite than saying, "What?" Okay, here's one last tip. This one isn't as important as the others, but it's still useful. If you're discussing an issue with someone and you disagree with them, it's sometimes better to not say this too directly. For example, in most situations, you probably shouldn't say, "You're wrong." And oftentimes, it's still too direct to say, "I disagree with you." This last sentence might be okay to say to certain people in certain situations, especially if you know them well, but in other situations, it's usually safer to say something less direct. For example, you could say, "I see what you're saying, but," or "I see what you mean, but," and then give your opinion. These types of responses sound polite. So, if you follow all these tips when you're speaking English, you'll avoid sounding too direct or rude. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful for you. Remember to sign up for our $1 listening practice seminars at polyglossa.com and download our free listening time podcast so you can practice your listening skills. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and follow us on Instagram. I'll see you next time.